All right, morning everyone. It's actually a great morning. Holy shit! And I literally just woke up, and the first thing I had to do was go live on this Elon news. That's why we are now on the moon, where Bitcoin is probably headed. And it was crazy. So about an hour ago, I also woke up like I do in the middle of the night every few times. I glance at my phone, I look at the price of Bitcoin, and I'm like, oh, it's above 39,000. Awesome. I expected it to be above 39,000 because last night, right before the Super Bowl, right after the Dan Held interview, I actually said, hey, I think we've corrected, and now it's time to go up and actually meet the target of the cup and handle. And then I start answering messages, and then all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up. And I'm like, what's going on? So I see the news, I look at the price, and it's like 43,000. I have not looked at any of the charts yet. I've ran down to my computer. I brewed a nice fresh pot. I'm going to pour a cup, and we are going straight to the charts. I have not looked at the charts since last night at all. So we're going to look at them together and see, can we make sense of it from the TA perspective? And maybe a little challenging to buy this dip, but there's always a dip. Let's go and take a look at the charts. The West Coast probably hasn't heard the news yet. They're still asleep. It's like 6:40 in the 5:40 in the morning there. So the West Coast of the US is definitely missing out on this. The guys in the UK were right on top of it from the get-go. Elon could have waited an hour, would have been a lot better. All right, here we go. All right, there's the tweet. Now, the whole Doge thing, like, we all knew that it was stupid, but we didn't know to what extent. And here's the news. The more interesting thing is that they are also very interested in getting your Bitcoin. They're not just buying Bitcoin on the open market. They are also want you to pay for the Tesla in Bitcoin so they can keep your Bitcoin. The company also said it would start accepting Bitcoin as a payment method for its product. Now, there are other publications that are saying that Tesla would even consider holding that Bitcoin when they sell you that Tesla, which makes sense because now they are able to hold Bitcoin in their treasuries. This is absolutely huge news. Elon Musk has been credited for raising the price of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. I like that. The only one that matters is Bitcoin, guys. Doge doesn't matter. I don't really care about if it's going to go to a penny or whatever it's at, or is it a few pennies already? Anyway, let's go to the charts. We're going straight to the weekly chart. We're going to start off at the highest level. As I've been saying for the last week or so, I don't know if you guys can hear the background noise. Why is there background noise? Anyway, it's insane. It's loud in here, but you guys probably don't hear it. Thank God. So I really wanted us to close last week above as a new all-time high on a weekly scale. When that happens, that is an amazing sign. That is a huge bullish sign. And I was certainly bullish last night, as the last thing I said in last night's video, that I was bullish across all time frames. Now, of course, TA does not predict what Elon Musk is going to file with the SEC. But in order for Elon Musk to buy $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, it moves the price of Bitcoin. And this is why TA people that are capable of properly reading TA charts are able, not everyone can, are able to, pick up the patterns. I mean, Willy Woo has been bullish all throughout. He's been noticing coins are leaving exchanges and being stored for the long haul. And a company like Tesla didn't buy Bitcoin to sell it in a month. I mean, they're buying Bitcoin to hold it for the next up to the next decade, just like MicroStrategies. Elon Musk is not an idiot by any means. He's probably one of the smartest guys on the planet, considering the companies he has built prior to Tesla, even though from my understanding, he wasn't the founder of Tesla. But if it wasn't for him, you probably would never heard of Tesla. So he's certainly responsible. And so I expected this move to take place 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, we pulled back a little bit. I did not waver. I did not walk away from my bullish stance. I explained how the samurai top was playing out as it was playing out, and it did play out that way. I remain very bullish right now. This news can certainly last for quite a bit. I can't believe we just pumped like $4,000 in an hour. Let's go to the lower level time frames. Here's your daily chart. As I explained on my last trading video as well, I saw this current MRI top more similar to this MRI top and this one, kind of a combination between the two, just a 1 to 2 candle consolidation and then breakout, and boom, here we are. Again, the green star candle that tends to give you more bullish momentum. It happened here also due to Elon Musk, but it did not really cause you any damage. This is absolutely awesome. We just blew through the prior all-time high. This is why I do not believe in double tops reversing the market. You guys have watched me enough. Double tops are meant to be broken to the upside sooner than later. When I see a double top, I am incredibly bullish. Is this a sell the news situation? No, this is not a sell the news situation. Absolutely not. I do not see this as a sell the news situation because the news, while everyone kind of had a feeling it was coming, this news actually changes the game for the long term. The sell the news situation is something like the CME finally, releases Ethereum CME futures. That's more of a sell the news situation. Speaking of Ethereum, I'm curious how it's doing against Bitcoin right now. It's actually doing okay. Actually, that's Ethereum versus the dollar. Sorry, it's not doing crazy well. So how is it doing against Bitcoin? Oh, it's down against Bitcoin. I think a lot of stuff is going to be down against Bitcoin. But anyway, here's the daily chart. This candle can close at 50K today. I mean, the West Coast probably is just hearing about this news now. It's still 6 in the morning there. So unless you're walking your dog or you actually have a job, which a lot of crypto people don't, thank God, you may not have even heard the news yet. People in Australia are still kind of awake, unless you go to bed early. Wow, I can't even see that. Jesus. Well, here's the hourly chart. So based on the hourly chart, you could have sold the news this hour. So that's interesting how the hourly chart is on an MRI top. Not this candle closed fine, and then this candle, boom, there's your 1 hour MRI top. So this is a candle that you could have taken your profit on. And as you can see, this candle, so the hour only has 10 minutes left. So let's go to the 10-minute chart, and we're going to see where on the 10-minute chart we topped within that hour. So we're looking at, so we have another candle coming in right now. And this is the last candle. So we have 6 candles, 6 10-minute periods, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the hourly candle began right here. We immediately started pulling back. We then swung to the upside. See, this is important. This is the one thing that your hourly candle will not tell you. It will not tell me whether we went up first and then down and then back, or did we go down first and then up and then back. So looking at it from a 10-minute perspective, we went down first, then up, and now we are in the middle. We are also approaching a 10-minute MRI top. So there's certainly, as short-term traders that are trading, anywhere from an hourly chart to less, and those are the people that are generally leveraged long. The shorter your time frame, the more you can leverage, because you're in front of the market more. Right now, we are pulling back again, but I still think this is a bullish environment because this dip got bought, and it got bought very quickly. So this hourly MRI top is not something I am personally overly concerned about, okay? Now, let's see what else we can do. Or let me look at your questions. Hey guys, any good questions? We have 1,300 people watching. Moderators, throw some questions in. Looking at your live chat now. I checked Bitcoin this morning, 39. Checked about 20 minutes later. What the fuck? That was me. That was me this morning too. Like I literally opened my eyes. I checked the price. I'm like, oh, we're about 39. And then I started looking at my messages that came in overnight. Yeah, that was about it. Yeah, I woke up and I'm like, oh, I still got time to sleep. It's still early. And then next thing I know, we're like here. Do I expect any big pullbacks? Nope, not right now. Not right now. We're looking at this daily chart. We already got the pullback back to 42, but it was a small pullback. We can, if we top near 49, I can envision a pullback to 42, 43 before a push into the 60s. Remember, I've been saying that because we did not reach my target in the mid 50s on the MRI top itself, I was now going to be bullish for another MRI count. And another MRI count basically ends here at the end of March. This is only the second candle in a push to the MRI. So I believe this is accurate based on number of days. So this is the second candle, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even one more. Late March, early April. I'm looking for this to continue. I'm looking for this rally to keep going. And my top is now over 60,000, somewhere in the 60s. Tone, how do you think this will impact the GBTC premium? Well, I think that when the market opens today, there'll be a huge rush to buy GBTC because a lot of people can't just buy Bitcoin and all they can do is buy GBTC. And there's not going to be enough GBTC to go around. I mean, I wish I could buy some more GBTC, but I can't. My entire retirement account is 100% invested in GBTC. I cannot put more money in. I am fully invested in GBTC. As much as I would love to rush in to buy some this morning, I cannot, but I'm happy that I cannot because I was already in. I was kind of pissed that I did not take my big exit here. I took a small exit. I'm pissed at Florida, the state of Florida. The only thing I'm pissed at Florida about is the fact that they have 2 time zones that really screwed me up. And I missed my exit that Friday morning. And then I just kept waiting and I got greedy waiting for this candle to pull back and it just never did. And I'm like, and then the next day that happened. That was when I was there with Socrates and Joe was supposed to come and Fibble was supposed to come, but they flaked on us. No offense, guys. But I think this can really spike. I mean, it's going to spike because of the price. So the price is now at 43, 44,000. So that automatically defaults the price of GBTC up to $43. But then there is a premium on top of that, right? The premium closed on Friday at just under 6%. I think this premium should be over 10% in the morning because there's only so many GBTC shares to go around. And while there are people looking to exit GBTC and rebuy so they can take advantage of that premium, eventually there could be a liquidity crunch in a serious bull market. So yeah, I would love to see the price of Bitcoin continued to pump based on Elon's actions, not even tweets anymore. It's now actions. Based on Elon's and Tesla's actions, I am expecting Bitcoin to keep pumping, and therefore GBTC would be gobbled up off the market. And if there's not enough sellers of GBTC, the premium is going to start to spike through the roof. I would love to see this premium spike back to the 50% level. I felt that it could happen one last time because now people are like really starting to play around with it. If the GBTC premium spikes back to 40-50%, as I am doing a better job of timing the actual top of this first cycle, we are pulling back a little bit now. Let me go to the hourly chart. Yep, we are still pulling back. I still see this pumping to the upside. I think this news is huge. I don't think people realize the implications of this yet. One Bitcoin for a Cybertruck. Yeah. Imagine if he actually like does that, like denominates his cars in Bitcoin, or at least a pool of cars. I used to do that with my consulting rate, but no one's gonna pay me $4,500 right now for an hour phone call. That's insane. We are pulling back with a 10-minute MRI top. This is also the 1-hour MRI top. Look, I would be careful this particular hour because, again, TA and indicators, we have fully met the target. The cup and handle target has been achieved. Wow. I did not think it would be achieved this quickly, but it has been achieved. Right there, you can see that we have moved $6,000 since the triangle breakout, just 3 days ago, when I perfectly tweeted out the breakout above that triangle. As I said yesterday, we pulled back to the bottom of that, back to the breakout level, and we exploded to the upside. Look, Elon had a lot to do with this pump, but it was coming either way. It was just going to take a lot longer. I'm watching this 1-hour MRI pump. Zoltan, thank you so much for your HUF. I believe that's the Hungarian currency super chat. Tone, thank you for all that you are doing. Today is time to celebrate. It is time to celebrate because we crushed all-time high by 10% in a matter of, I want to say hours, but it wasn't even hours. It was less than 1 hour. In less than 1 hour, you just moved up 10%. 10% past the all-time high. So that is insane. Absolutely insane. I wonder who's around to jump on a stream. Come on, Jimmy. Join me. Join, guys. Jimmy's awake. Wondering who else we can get. Giacomo's in that group. I should reply to my tweet. If you have over 10,000 Twitter followers and you want to jump on a stream, I'll DM you the link. Jimmy's like, you go to ruin my morning. He probably likes to work out. I had shit to do too. I usually work a little bit before I start streaming. Maybe Max Kaiser's awake. Hugo's awake. Yeah, sure. Jump on, Hugo. You've been a loyal follower. I'm just going to text in my unconfiscatable speaker group. Or my unconfiscatable speakers. I'm live if anyone wants to join. Boom. Let's see who can jump on. Leah's in that group. Dan Held, even though he was just on yesterday. Let me see if there's
Hey man.
Hey Jimmy. Hey, I'm just posting the link in like speaker groups of other conferences by spamming them. Let me see. There's the Honey Badger speaker group has a bunch of important people.
Yeah, I gotta try to broadcast on Clubhouse. Would that be okay?
I don't care.
Okay. You have to understand there's like thousands of people already like talking about it. If I open a room, I think we get at least a few hundred. So
yeah, do it. Can you get my voice through that or no? Can you put me on speaker as well?
Well, so I think I could put the I can connect this earphone to there and then just do it. Let me see if I can do it. All right.
Right, but my audio won't come through. You need to just put it on speaker on the phone. So hey, yeah. So speaking of Clubhouse, okay, hold on. Let me just send this message. Hey guys, I'm live to talk Bitcoin and Elon. Feel free to join. So everyone keeps telling me about Clubhouse. I know absolutely nothing. But the thing is, I finally go, okay, fine, I'm gonna check this out. But it's iPhone only. I've never owned an iPhone. I don't even have a iOS account. So I had no shot at how's Tesla stock doing? Shit, I should probably look at that. But it's pre-market. Oh God, GameStop. TSLA. So it's actually not doing much in pre-market. Interesting. But Tesla's too big of a company. I mean, Bitcoin, 1.5 billion in Bitcoin is not that much for Tesla. It's a lot for many of us, but not Tesla. Whoa, Andreas, thank you for your super chat. And Mark, thank you for yours. Wow, Mark. We'll love you to the moon. Thank you. Andreas, what did you write? Tone, thanks for your support. I have a question. What now with my Bitcoin and my cash? All in GBTC or BTC, or wait for a correction and then? And I think alts will die because of this big change. Well, Elon hasn't not done a good job, like killing the alts. He's actually helping the alts a little bit. So I don't think alts are gonna like die, but they're gonna be slowly dying. I'm gonna look at the chart of Bitcoin, then we're gonna take off screen share for a minute. We're already pumping. All we gotta do is close this hour positive and then start trading up the next hour, and then this MRI top will no longer be relevant. It is still relevant for a minute, but it's not going to be relevant for very long. GBTC is up on pre-market. Well, no, but yeah, you have to wait for the open market. It's obviously going to be up because it's pegged. If it's up $8 in pre-market, I could always log into my brokerage and get the real number as well. Here's GBTC. I don't have the pre-market data. If it's up $8, that means it's up to 45, closer to 46, which means that that GBTC premium is still not much because it's 44 versus 46. So it's only $2 on 44, which is about 5 or 6%. The premium can spike, and I can't wait to see what happens with GBTC in the morning. I do not see this as a sell the news event. I don't. I see this as a good breakout event, like good earnings. All right, Jimmy's still setting up Clubhouse.
Yeah, I already opened the room, but because I didn't schedule it, I don't think people know about it unless they know to come in. I'm having a friend check the sound.
All right. Yeah, so, Ozzy, the BS Builder's in the house.
All right. Oh my gosh, my eye is like swollen because there's a sty under because of allergy. So maybe I should take off video. Oh gosh.
Well, they can't. You're in a little corner right now, so no one can really see much of you. But
I
was gonna take off. I mean, my video is actually turned off right now as well. I was actually gonna take off the screen share, but I guess I'll keep the screen share on. So look, so Elon is gonna do a very smart thing if he starts accepting Bitcoin for the cars, but keep the Bitcoin. How that's like the ultimate freaking way to earn that Bitcoin.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it looks like it'll be like 1 Bitcoin for a Cybertruck or something like that, which I'm looking forward to. That's I don't know. We'll see. I've always regretted almost everything I've ever bought with Bitcoin because Bitcoin goes up in price. But I mean, it's kind of a nice gesture as a way to show people, all right, what can you buy with Bitcoin? You can buy a Tesla. That's a pretty good answer.
Yeah. No, that would be absolutely sweet. People are saying 50K today. It's possible. I wouldn't rule it out. I would not rule it out. The West Coast is not even awake yet. Can we hit 50K today? It's unlikely. It's possible, but it's unlikely. I'm going to take the under on the 50. What was the high today? I think 55 was already the high. Almost. 44.9 was the high. I do believe that the high for today has not yet been achieved. I think we will break 45. I do not think we break 50. By the way, Jimmy, you know what happens when we break 50?
What happens when we break 50?
We got to settle the bet.
What bet?
Who had the better hair?
we gotta bring in like old pictures of our hair.
Yeah, so it's you, me, Joe Saz, and Mike Novogratz.
Yeah, Joe showed me his picture. I think we're all losing, man.
I don't think so. You haven't seen mine.
I don't know. It's gonna be hard to beat.
I don't know. Mike Novogratz thinks he's gonna win this one.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, he probably like it's hard to imagine him with hair because we only know him without it. But we'll see.
Bless you.
Oh, sorry about that. Allergies. All right, let me see if there's anybody in Clubhouse. I really
the B Trash Death Watch. Okay, I need to keep. Oh, there it is. Almost.
Wow, very close, very close.
That's the Death Watch. That's when we stop looking at all the shit coins. Ideally, I want to see a close below 1%, but even if we touch below 1%, that is the Bcash Death Watch.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I can't believe.
Man, guys, here come the memes. Roger trying to sell you a piece of gum for Bitcoin versus Elon selling you a Tesla for Bitcoin. Which one is the better transaction?
Yeah, you could buy what is it at like in dollar terms? It's what, like $400 or something like that. You can buy, I don't know, like an old laptop, or you could buy a Tesla. What are you gonna buy? Yeah.
Well, it's getting to a point where considering how big they want blocks to be, you can't even buy a laptop that would be able to host a Bcash node with the size of their blocks at this point with one Bcash. Like that's how.
Yeah, I don't know how big their blockchain is, just because.
Oh no, it's not that big, but like theoretically, if it was actually.
I imagine that's the case.
Holy shit, Doge is actually in the top 10. Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the Elon pump, right? Like Doge did something with Elon for a while.
Oh my God. So Doge is higher up than Bcash. That's gotta be embarrassing.
Yeah, a little bit, definitely.
Oh, good Lord. Wow. Okay. Jesus. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance should be rising on this news. Elon clearly didn't file with the SEC that he bought Doge.
So crazy. Everything is so crazy.
Where is my here it is.
Wow, there's about 8 people in the room for on Clubhouse right now. I mean, like popular rooms get like thousands. So this is an experiment. We'll see. I got to figure out a better way to do this because I'm having to hold this the Bluetooth earphone piece up to the speaker of
but wait,
iPhone.
well, why don't you just put your phone on speaker and have it pick up the speaker from your house? On
Because like then there's like echo and stuff. I
no, there isn't.
purposefully use
No, there won't be.
like if
No,
well, I
Zoom.
don't have speakers on this computer actually. I only use
really?
Bluetooth headphones. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. No, because I have like Bluetooth speakers like on my desk that I use for this.
Yeah. It gets tricky. Apparently, it's a little tinny and whatever, but and I'm not sure how much they can hear me, but they could definitely hear you. So.
All right. So, all right, we got more super chat coming in from Morgan. Hey, Tone, did you hear about GBTC maybe getting bought out by Bill Miller's fund? Well, GBTC is just a tradable ticker of Grayscale's company, and Grayscale's company is printing money hand over fist right now because they're collecting like a 25 Bitcoin fee for managing GBTC.
Yeah.
Josh, thanks for joining us as well.
Hey, yeah, no worries. Exciting day.
Let me see. I should keep an eye on who's actually going to be joining us. Where is?
Yeah, I gotta figure out a better solution. I have to like hold this thing in place.
Yeah, you may have to figure out a better solution. Or just go find the Bluetooth speaker.
Well, I have one somewhere. Yeah, that. Well, I mean, there's already like a dozen people in Clubhouse. I don't want to abandon.
Now they're all waiting. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey Jimmy's Clubhouse people. I can't do Clubhouse because I don't have an iPhone. And,
dude, I'm gonna send you an iPod, and you're just going to register that way, right? Like, and it won't be hard.
Okay, so here's another problem. So someone actually registered me yesterday, but the Tone Vays handle was not available.
Yeah, neither was Jimmy Song. I just made it like Jimmy Song BTC. The nice thing is you can link it to your Twitter account. Then that'll sort of authenticate it, and people will know that's the real Tone Vays as a result.
Right. So people apparently know there's so I made it Tone_Vays, but like we need to reach out to Clubhouse. Maybe they reserved. Maybe if they were smart. Remember what I was saying on the show a while ago? I'm gonna take screen share off for a second. I know, Jimmy, it's okay. Live with it. Remember what I was saying a while ago? The only
I should change the background. I want to see if we could get that background thing going. Give me a minute, but yeah, keep talking.
Yeah,
you can keep talking.
I wanna, like I said, the best way to compete with in social media right now, and now I have Josh, so he'll have to hear my crazy idea. Is you have to pre-reserve every single Twitter handle that has more than X number of followers, say 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000, whatever your benchmark is. You have to reserve those handles so that if an authenticated person with a Twitter handle of over, say, 1,000 followers can then get your handle on your new software, this way you grandfather people from other platforms and you give them their handles before the trolls can get to them.
Yeah, it's super important, especially now in the era of rare digital assets. We need to have some sort of solution for that because it's just ripe for scammers.
Right. Let me do the same, Jimmy. Here. So this is a new concept. I'm sure I probably tried that earlier.
So visually speaking, this is like his background and my background are like connected. So. Yeah, it's something that we've been wanting to try. For those of you on YouTube, you can see it. If you're on Clubhouse, sorry, you can't see it, but yeah.
So I don't know if this is working or not.
Yeah, I think we have to go to YouTube in order to find out.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, do me a quick favor for 1 second. Turn off your video.
Boom.
All right, did it work?
I think so.
All right, cool.
Waiting on YouTube.
Yeah, there's like a 10-second delay.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone on Clubhouse is on my stream, so like they're getting it 15 seconds faster than YouTube.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, you have to get the audio 15 seconds ahead. Yeah, no, it did work. This is our split screen apartment environment. So Jimmy and I are in the same apartment, but he's in Texas and I'm in Vegas at the moment.
Very nice. Hey, I wonder what, one thing that concerns me with these billions coming in from huge corps, I really, this is always fun in the bull era. What I'm a bit afraid of over time is that we'll have these, Fortune 500s holding large reserves, and we'll go through a bear period. Then the regulators will really step up their game and start to crush the small players in this field who are, the startups who just can't compete with too much regulation. The banks will then come in. Visa's already chunking up the APIs. I just hope that regulators won't smash us all the startups in the space that are building the ecosystem, because basically regulatory overload.
Hey Josh, turn your camera back on. That was just going to be like a short testing. So, yeah, that's interesting. I don't see that, because remember, when you say little guy, right? Most little guys don't have to deal with the SEC. Okay, you only have to deal with the SEC if you're in the security space, which a lot of people are, because they want to print their own money. Like for someone like yourself, you're in the transmission space, so you have other regulators you need to deal with, because you are dealing with people's money. You are holding on to people's value. You are in the form of gold. So you have some regulation to that effect. But as far as unless the government comes out and says only big corporations are allowed to accept and hold Bitcoin and small guys are not, which I don't see happening ever.
I mean, it's happened in the UK. Luckily, we've been around for a while. These regulations will be good for us because we're in early. We've got in there where we've got FCA licensing, but the small people that are starting up now that are building great things, the Lightning Network here, these people might have a problem later on if we have a huge bear market and all of a sudden we need. The regulator just puts on their superhero costume and goes, "We'll save you."
Yeah, that's the question. How much of a holder are these are these giant corporate treasuries? Like, how much are they going to FOMO sell or whatever?
Right. That's where I thought you were going with this. That they're buying going into the bull market. Will they massive sell in the bear market? And I don't believe that they will. And Jimmy, I'll let you try to answer this first, and then I'll try to make up my excuses as to why I'm hopeful that they won't.
Yeah, I suspect that they won't, because they commit to keeping it, and if they could book a nice profit and so on, but that's I don't know if that's necessarily enough for that. I mean, they're still holding like a melting ice cube, like Michael Saylor says, and that's the thing. Like the people, the corporations that are getting in right now, they're getting in for a very specific reason. It's like they've had to have an education on what Bitcoin is, its store value properties, and so on. That's really the only way that you could really buy it and justify it to your board and so on. So I suspect that they'll continue holding it, and during a bear market, they'll just say, okay, well, I mean, we committed to this asset for a while. It wasn't just sort of like a day trading thing, which honestly, for a lot of retail, it is. But I suspect, I mean, unless, like they're about to go under or something and they have to sell it. I really doubt it. And for somebody like, oh wow, look at MicroStrategy stock.
No, look where it's going to open. Look at the pre-market.
They're gonna. Wow, the pre-market price is 939. Where were they before he started talking about all this? This was like July of last year.
Dude, they were under $100, man. They've 10x their company.
What? Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, they were 200. So not 10x, but a 5x.
It reminds me of
their company.
It reminds me of the early days of Bitcoin when companies would accept Bitcoin like a bar or something, and all these press would talk about them, and all of a sudden they would be popular. For instance, Dwala, who nobody knew back in the day, it was the only way to fund yourself on Mt. Gox, was suddenly the big name in payments. But then they stopped working with Bitcoin and they went back to obscurity.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Well, I mean that's happened to a lot of companies that took Bitcoin for payments, which Tesla is doing now as a result. But yeah, I mean the real power in Bitcoin is in holding it as a store of value, and
Yeah,
that
but
I mean you're seeing that in spades.
and that's why it's different now. Like I remember those days of, you know, when that Bitcoin bubble, the 2013, when the 2013 bubble popped, it was which company is going to accept Bitcoin? Expedia, Dish Network. You guys remember those headlines? And and we always said, who cares? They're not holding the Bitcoin. Them accepting it will only drive the price lower because they're just going to immediately sell it on the open market. This time it's different. If someone starts paying MicroStrategies for the services in Bitcoin, they're going to try to hold it. They're going to look for a regulatory loophole to hold the Bitcoin and pay their employees.
Well, they're effectively buying at spot if they do that, which is better than, so yeah.
And same thing with Tesla. They're gonna start accepting Bitcoin for Teslas. They're interested in holding the Bitcoin. And hell, if I was an employee of Tesla, I would be like emailing HR right now. How soon can I get paid in Bitcoin?
Guys, I don't even know how these people are buying this sort of volume. Really, there's
well, so rumor has it that Elon somehow made a deal with GBTC or something like that, but I don't know if that's true or not.
That doesn't necessarily. I can't. But GBTC doesn't sell you the Bitcoin. I mean, GBTC is open. He could have just bought in, but I'm with Josh. I mean, that volume is hard. If anything, Elon made some deals with miners. I'm sure he has a lot of connections in the space. The richest man in the world usually does. And I'm sure he was gobbling it up from miners, from exchanges.
Yeah, but even miners, Grayscale bought more Bitcoin than miners produced in the last year, I think. So even miners would be out. Plus,
yeah,
China
I mean, maybe he made
deal.
a deal with like a whale that has a ton of Bitcoin on with GBTC or something like that, and maybe paid a little bit of a premium. I don't know, but obviously they figured out some form of custody, so that might be the thing.
It's a hard deal to make. I mean, whenever you get, I get it every so often, especially in the bull markets, where you get some clown coming out of the woodwork saying, "Oh, I've got someone I know wants to buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin," and you're just like, "Wait, just go away. Just go. What are you trying?" I don't know. There's so many scammers.
It's always some prince from someplace that wants to buy a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but this is definitely a historic day. I really like the fact that these companies are saying that they'll take Bitcoin and they'll keep it. What I'm really looking forward to, Elon is one of these guys. Obviously, we all know it's very disruptive. I really, really, really want him to look into some of the projects that we've built on the Lightning Network hack days. That someone else also built a really cool way of streaming money to the superchargers. I would love to see that because I've just got a Tesla recently and really like it, but every time I have to put my credit card in there, I actually like spending Bitcoin. I just buy it back when I do. I think it's a great way of moving, especially on the Lightning Network. I think that's where the currency really, really shines nowadays. And these sorts of things would be really, really awesome if he starts to work that stuff out, especially if your car becomes a node.
Yeah, wow. I mean, this price is mesmerizing, isn't it? We're almost at 44. Tone's saying we're gonna try to we're gonna beat 45 today. Did you say that we're gonna beat 50 or like get close to 50? What was your?
I don't think we're gonna break 50 today, but we can break 50 this week.
Oh,
that's for sure. My target remains in the mid 60s. So I raised my target since. I was looking for a target in above 50,000 2 weeks ago because I thought that we could keep rising and top out in the mid 50s before the big pullback. But we topped out a few weeks early and pulled back into my MRI top. And by pulling back into the MRI top, we set ourselves up for a new MRI top setup. And now this can last all the way into the 60s.
Wow, $65,000 Bitcoin. That would be insane.
I think that is very possible. Late March, early April, before a bigger pullback, and then the start of another bull wave into the end of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, the floor that's been built over the last few weeks has been really, really healthy and nice. And it's funny seeing all these news articles coming out going, Bitcoin's stopped with its bull market, it's crashing. And you just think, well, this is great. This is a fantastic thing. I really get happy when it starts to move sideways for a while, especially after a big bull move. So I'm hoping that we'll reach 50 and move sideways again for a while, because these constant day in, day out, up get scary. Purely because I don't want another 3 years of bear.
Yeah, I don't either, but I don't know. That might be sort of part of the sort of boom bust cycle of Bitcoin. It seems kind of inevitable at this point. I mean, Tone, do you think we're going to have a 3-year bull market like we just did?
3-year bull market?
I mean, bear market. Sorry.
I don't envision at the moment. It's hard to envision another, disastrous 2.5-year bear market to get back to an all-time high. But it also depends how high we go, right? Like the more exponentially up we go, the higher the probability of something like this. I mean, look, if we are at $250,000 a Bitcoin by mid next year, then yes, I envision another 3-year bear market. I'm sorry. That's just how markets work. But we're basically pushing the boundary right now on how fast Bitcoin can rise without a sustained bear market. The slower and steady we go up, the better it is. But if we do go exponential, that can certainly happen. But I want to get back to that question about the big boys, as they're buying in billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, like Elon and Michael Saylor. Is there a risk of them dumping it? And I'm going to say the risk is low, because first of all, like someone sent out like the whole SEC report, like it wasn't easy for Elon Musk or any of these companies to get the right approvals to buy into Bitcoin. So they're not about to turn their companies into hedge funds, especially with what happened with Wall Street Bets. No one exactly wants their company to be a hedge fund right now. So they're not in a rush to keep selling. I mean, you don't go through this entire nonsense to then dump all of that after you made a little bit of money. These are serious investments. They can strategically sell some, but they're not going to like dump it the way they bought it. These are really long-term investments.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think it'll be like that. The approvals and regulatory sort of things that you have to overcome in a company are huge. So yeah, I suspect that'll be the case.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they will dump it, but once the markets, low liquidity also can drive huge bear markets down. So if we do have low liquidity because no one's selling, you can obviously get higher, but if it's already gone high, and then it just crashes down on a major flow, I feel that regulators would then say, hey, or investors of those large companies might say, hey, what the hell, guys, I'm not sure. It's just an edge case.
All right.
The dumping, though, I also agree with you, Tone. I don't feel that they'll dump. I think it's a long-term strategy for sure. I think it's a hedge towards the banking system, especially now that we're having the whole COVID thing will really destroy. Everything's being held up by fake printed money. It's just a downward spiral from here on in.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And for me, again, I've been talking about how it's not even the printing of the money that bothers me. It's the, just the political environment and how everything is just spiraling out of control in U.S. politics.
Oh man, U.S. politics is just so super nuts and controlled, manipulated, destroyed. I'm really interested to see what happens in the next election. I don't think anyone will take it seriously. I think.
Hey, Hugo.
Hey guys.
Hey, Hugo.
I'm trying to get drunk now.
Yeah, but you're in Europe, so it makes more sense than
It's like 8 in the morning here, man. Like you're gonna start drinking now?
no, he's in Europe. He's in Europe.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
it's
Fair enough.
past gentleman's hour here in Berlin.
Yeah, it's 2:30 here in Portugal.
You're drinking at 2 in the afternoon. Okay, all right. I guess Bitcoin price has really popped.
Yeah, no, this is sticking with your model pretty damn nicely, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. I've been thinking about the model, and you know, I don't think we're going to have a serious, really big bear market after the next top, because so many institutional buyers are coming into Bitcoin that I believe the next bear market will not be like 80% down.
It'll be smaller, right?
Yeah, I guess it will be maximum maybe 50, 60% down.
No, that makes sense to me as well. But I'm really curious how we're gonna close today. We did just pull back. I'm gonna go back to screen share. And where is my thing here? There it is. I'm gonna drop back down to the 10-minute scale. I think we can have one more push today. At some point later today, I can see us breaking $44,200. And when we do, the price should rally one last time for the day.
Wow. So we'll break 45 today is your prediction.
I believe we will.
Okay. Wow.
I remain bullish here. I'm curious where GBTC opens. Tesla has just opened. MicroStrategy's almost hit $1,000. That's insane. I know I got friends that are holding this stock. I convinced friends to just buy into GBTC. Good thing they did. And let's see Tesla.
Tesla should be going up.
No, it's not. I mean, Tesla is a really big company. $1.5 billion for Tesla is probably not a big deal.
What's their market cap?
But they're consolidating nice. I actually have no idea.
That would seem to be a relevant number compared to the $1.5 billion.
Yeah, we can look that up. Tesla market.
It's also how
Almost $1 trillion.
Okay, so like 0.1% of
yeah, exactly. So it doesn't really do much for Tesla.
0.2 maybe, you know, I mean 20 basis points of their market cap in Bitcoin. Of course that, you know, 20 basis points is going to be like 200 basis points soon enough. So that'll be interesting to watch.
But that's from their liquid assets.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That might not have been. I think that was their market. That could have been the price because they seem to be the same. No, market cap right there. Okay, so their market cap is approximately the same as their price in the 800s, but it's with a B in the back there. Yeah.
All right, so 800 billion, so about 20 basis points roughly. Wow. 20 basis points of Tesla's market cap is $1.5 billion. That's so insane.
I don't believe this is the last buy from Elon.
No. Oh, of course not.
He can get loans for so cheap right now.
Yeah, so we're waiting for this. So I don't want to see it go lower than this area here.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm going to stick around with you guys for a few more minutes. We're watching this very carefully because this is just a 10-minute chart. So in the next 30 minutes, we will know if Bitcoin is going to break out above 45K or not.
You know, the moving average is going up so quickly. I don't believe it will break this triangle down.
Okay, so yeah, there's an ascending triangle on the 10-minute.
Yes.
And that's in the next 30 minutes. This based on like the last hour and a half or so of 10-minute candles.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
We should have some kind of a resolution here.
We're firmly in the green on the moon math .win regression projection as well, which is nice.
I am curious about the funding rate. It's probably through the roof right now.
Funding rate is about 50. It's like crazy.
No, it's not that bad. This
What?
could be on a little bit of a delay, but people are skeptical of this move, which is great, which means we have room to go higher.
Well, I
Okay,
checked.
so the funding rate is going short. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is it doesn't cost that much money to go leverage long.
Okay.
You have to
What's the
check the
funding
1 hour.
rate like? Okay, 5 basis points or something.
It's probably even less than that.
No, Tone.
yeah.
Check the 1 hour. 1 hour funding
the
rate. Yeah, it's above 50.
No, the 1 hour is through the roof, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 1 hour is pretty bad.
Wow, wow, that's a lot of yeah,
It's
a lot
really,
of
really
loans.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 1 hour is in line with what happened in January when we hit the all-time high. Yeah, we'll see. But that thing in January didn't have a news assigned to it. This one does. So I'm still leaning bullish here. I'm still leaning bullish. Let's see what this triangle does on a 10-minute. I could be easily proven wrong. We're pushing that boundary right now. In 2 minutes, we're gonna have another candle, and now we're sitting right there. No, West Coast is waking up. I also want to see where GBTC opens. It already opened, but we're looking at it on a delay. So I got about 8 more minutes before I can see GBTC here. You know, I'm done. I'm gonna close the Ethereum charts. This is just useless. I'm gonna close this. And Ethereum versus the dollar, Ethereum versus, I think it's time to close these. They're just annoying now. I'll keep an eye on Bitcoin dominance.
Although I don't know if you know, but Grayscale also bought a large amount of Ethereum today.
Well, yeah, well, they had to because they have that trust that people are been rushing into. And it's our gold silver ratio, and S&P 500 is up as well. Look, people are just scared to have money anywhere other than in private assets. It's the private asset boom. You having money in a bank is a public asset. Cash is a public asset, but having Tesla stock, Apple stock is a private asset. Bitcoin, private asset. Gold, if you hold it yourself, private asset. We have a private asset boom where people are scared to keep cash in the bank because I believe they're going to go after rich people, and they're proving it. You know, they want to do like the capital gains, mark-to-market tax. You know, so they're insane. Def Watch, let's see. Man, I want to see this thing go below 1%. That would be, what was the low? What was the lowest low ever? It was, the low was.
It's not low enough.
1%, finally almost below 1%.
It was 1,056. And right now we're 1,059. So we're almost at the low, 1,053. So, but I want to see it below 0.01. Below 0.01 is, I believe you can put a fork in this.
I wonder how Kim.com is feeling now.
I don't know. He's still tweeting and trying to pump it, but with every tweet, he just, ruins his reputation, which is what I kind of.
He's pretty big on Clubhouse, if I remember. He had like a room with like 1,100 people last night, talking about Clubhouse. I don't know if he was pumping BCH though.
Twitter's about to come out with their Clubhouse clone as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I have a handle on Clubhouse connected to my Twitter, but I wonder if that's changeable. I'm sure it is, right?
I don't know. Like they've been beta for a while, and yeah, it's crazy because they're so like the number of followers that like certain people have, it's more than they have on Twitter already. Like that's how many people are on the platform.
Right, but because someone mentioned in my live chat that they have my Clubhouse handle.
Okay,
And,
so they'll let you trade it or something
well,
at some point.
I hope Clubhouse would let me, change it.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
But I could always sign up with a different phone number. Not that I don't want to though. Like I kind of like there's only so much you can keep track of. Anyway, let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's look at that triangle hourly chart. Yeah, right now we're just under it. But like this candle needs to start to rise.
Yeah, we got like 30 minutes to break that 44.2 area.
Yeah, look, I'm still bullish here. I mean, I think this news hasn't even fully sunk in yet as to its relevance.
Yeah.
I mean, the market just opened, right? Like 10 minutes ago. So that's kind of crazy. How long does it take for it to percolate through the markets?
Seconds.
No, it happens pretty fast.
Yeah, and most Asia is sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really, what company do you guys think is next? My call's on Apple.
I know Preston Pish was saying like the big four, FANG companies. He expected at least one of them to announce it this quarter or very soon. I mean, I didn't expect Tesla to be the first to announce it after this quarter, but it kind of makes sense given his like Twitter handle change and stuff.
I'm gonna go with Netflix. Yeah. Netflix or one of the chip manufacturers, like NVIDIA or
Intel,
NVIDIA more graphics cards, or AMD. Well, like I can see that sector.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Apple they're just flush with cash. Anyone that's sitting in cash right now is just silly. That there's so much in these crap negative interest rates. Actually, the Volt operator that we use in Switzerland, they were telling me that they've had to stop telling banks. They've had to put a bar on banks holding fiat at their vaults because it's cheaper to hold it in these private vaulting facilities than it is to send it back to the central bank. European Central Bank because of their negative interest rates. So, so literally bags and crates of cash, sort of Breaking Bad style, sitting in vaults now that belong to retail banks. It's amazing. What a ridiculous state of affairs that we're living in.
I don't see Apple doing it really soon because they are so conservative.
Yeah, same with like Microsoft or whatever. Those are pretty conservative companies from a financial standpoint.
I see Google doing it first before Apple and Microsoft.
I mean,
how about Facebook?
Facebook, I don't see it doing it because they even wanted to create their own coin. So I don't know. Well, maybe that's a door that they could use to get into crypto, but they had so many problems with Facebook coin, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it got renamed from Libra to DM or something. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, $193 billion cash on hand Apple have, like liquid assets. So, Elon with his 19 billion cash on hand. Apple has a lot of cash just sitting there. They're not even giving dividends out, they haven't for a while.
I don't even know. I don't even know if Apple sent anyone to Michael Saylor's conference.
Who was there? Do you know? Like, maybe that'll give us a better hint.
I know there were three people from Tesla were there.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. That's actually like really good info. That probably explains, the announcement.
So, unless this candle rallies in the next 4 minutes and above that green line, it's going to be more of a consolidation for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Also, well, people are asking, what's the next stage? So right now we're at a stage of institutional, reserve buying. I think the next stage is these companies that are reserve buying Bitcoin, their employees are going to start asking to be paid in Bitcoin. I think
You think so?
I think so. I think that is a stage before spending comes. Once people start getting paid from these companies in Bitcoin, then spending mass adoption will come. So Lightning still has time to, work out all of its kinks.
Yeah, I use Lightning quite a bit now. It's getting less kinky every day. It's amazing, especially wallets like Blue Wallet is so cool. It's working with Ben Ark, and he's got like faucets now, so that you can just scan the QR code and grab 10 bits, or 100 bits or 1 bit or whatever you want from this. So these sorts of things are really starting to flourish. One of the big things that makes the light bulb go off is when you can send someone some Bitcoin. And back in the day, that was quite easy. With Lightning, it's kind of harder because they need to open a channel first. But with things like these, projects like this that Ben Ark made, that becomes easy again. So yeah, I feel Lightning is really striving.
It's going up again.
Yep, we're looking good. I'm gonna come back in 3 minutes. Somebody asked me to take a look at a 2-week chart, and I thought that was very interesting. Looking at the 2-week chart, we did top with the MRI back in June of 2019. That was a $14,000 top. We bottomed fairly well in November of 2019, but then this was the big COVID crash. We had a beautiful top into a 1 to 4 candle correction and consolidation, and we held off breaking the resistance line. Once we did, it literally took off like a rocket, and right now we are sitting at an MRI 2-week top. We still have 6 days to go. A lot can happen in 6 days. I think that 50 will be challenged this week. And by 50, I mean, like if we get to above 49, that means 50 has been challenged. So I can definitely see 49 being broken this week. I think that is a possibility. And then we'll see what happens. Now, the extensions that this kicked off are still ongoing. So I would, in this particular case, I would pay slightly less attention to the samurai top and slightly more attention, not necessarily more attention than the MRI top, but I would not be eager of getting out on the samurai top because all 3 extensions still have to complete. We have extension A, extension B, and extension C. So there are, now that this did not top the market into a bear market, the extensions are slightly more important, very slightly more important than another MRI top, which will kick off more extensions. This is still a bullish-ish sign. Let's just say this MRI top would have been slightly more concerning for me than this one, even though this one was at a double top, which means a 1 to 4 candle correction and then back up. This one may not even cause a correction because the extensions are ongoing. This is why when people ask me for this indicator, I tell them, I'm sorry, you got to buy access because I need to make sure that you watch a 5-hour video that teaches it. Otherwise, all we'll do is lose you money. Okay, go back to the 10-minute chart. That's a nice, strong close to the 10-minute candle. If the next candle starts trading above current candle, I remain bullish that this triangle is still in the making. We got 30 seconds to go. And also GBTC is now open. So we can go and take a look at that and see where that opened. We're only at 43. Someone said like 46 or 48. This is not like the premium isn't going very far. We're still at like 5-6% on the premium, but this is certainly looking nice. We're taking out the prior high in GBTC, but I still want to see a liquidity crunch on GBTC where the premium spikes because there's just not enough GBTC shares to go around. This is the sub-liquid market of an illiquid market. Okay, so here we are. So this candle, I can, of course, adjust this slightly, and we are still within the rules. We are like that. That is still okay. And as long as this candle is a bullish green candle, we're still inside the triangle.
Wonder when we'll get to the point where people just start borrowing from these cheap interest rates to buy more crypto or Bitcoin, because I mean it's getting to the point where a lot of people, especially in a total bear collapse of a wider economic collapse, people just won't care about the black mark on their credit rating when they've got Bitcoin. So I think this is also part of the play that could play out, is when you start seeing people just taking loans and buying Bitcoin. This is not financial advice by any means, everyone, but it definitely is something that I've been watching people's interest in, just not caring about their credit rating anymore because the whole shit show is turning.
That's a very interesting take. By the way, we cut into the 4 Satoshi transactions last night, but we did not clear the mempool. And now this is not going to happen this week, unfortunately.
No, not at all. That's 75 megabytes of transactions that really, that's a lot of transactions to clear. That takes 8-10 hours without any other transactions entering. I don't think that's happening.
Hey Josh, you just sent over this link. You want to?
Yeah, if you click on the first.
I've never seen this before. You want to explain?
Yeah, just go up to the first one. The Trello is 2014. The first purple line there.
Okay.
I've been following this for forever, since 2012 or something, and it seems to always stay in range. When it starts to hit the blues, keep buying, and when it hits towards start to worry. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Here's where I have a problem with this particular chart. This is not a static picture. This is a formula that's being adjusted in real time, correct?
Correct.
Right. So because it's being adjusted in real time, it shifts to always make it look like it's perfect. So you got to be careful with these. Right? Like when you looked at it in 2014, it could have been completely different. Like the future, like this part here, from here to here, this future could have been very different back then. So this is why I always warn people not to pay too much attention to these exponential log charts unless you're taking snapshots and you're seeing how they deviate over time. Because with each new data, you're adjusting the future outcome.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is a moving average, but I take your point. I'll have to have a look at that.
Look at that, right? Like, I'm not sure either. Like, if this is a static picture that just adds, the price in, and they drew this rainbow, 6 years ago, then it's beautiful. But it's possible that they're just adjusting the logarithmic fit every single day.
Yeah.
And this is why I hate Elliott waves as well. And I really don't like any prediction or trading mechanism that can say, oh, based on what happened today, we change history. Because remember, when this happens, not only do they change what happened in the future, they change what happened in the past. I hate any trading tool that alters the past. And this is why I hate Elliott waves, because if something happens in the future, it can alter your wave count in the past. My indicators never do that. Like, for example, the reason why I like the MRI, like that is an MRI top. This will always be an MRI top. When you look at this chart in 10 years from now, this will be an MRI top, whether it was right or wrong. But if this is, I don't know, wave C or wave B or A of Elliott wave, you look at it 5 years from now, and it could have absolutely different count looking backwards in history. So any trading mechanism that alters history, I think, is a bad trading mechanism.
Yeah, I'd like to hear someone's opinion on if that is changing over time. Some of the other...
Dude, sorry. I just want to interrupt and just say something about what Jeff Booth predicted about Elon Musk. So December 20th, Elon Musk said in a tweet, Bitcoin is almost as BS as fiat money. This is December 20th, like a couple months ago. Jeff Booth responded to that tweet on December 20th, coming around. My bet is that you're fully embracing it by March. Impossible not to if you truly think in first principles. Wow. He predicted it back in December that Elon would come around after that tweet. Pretty amazing.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. He also said that Bill Gates is a knucklehead, so that's cool.
I agree with that. Agree with that. Look, we're doing nicely. We held the trend line, the bottom side of the triangle. We got 3 minutes to go, and this could happen, guys. We could form this 10-minute triangle and bust out.
And what's the top on that triangle? What, like 45, 46?
That's another $4,000 or so.
So 48-ish.
Yeah, I could also draw I can draw this in a different way as well. So this is 2,000. It's about 2,000 up. So that takes us to 46. But I could also draw this as instead of this, I'm going to take that out. I'm going to take this out. Another way to draw this is with a flag pennant. So if I draw a symmetric triangle, like that, we are very close to breaking that as well. And I would be okay with this as well. So that is a flag pennant. And this is even better. So in a flag pennant, I'm not going to cherry pick the top. I'm just going to take this part. And that is 4,000 on the move. So that's 4,000 up from here.
Yeah,
so that's a bullish flag pennant. So I can Google that for people. Bullish flag pennant.
It's PEN.
Sorry. Early. So it's something like, I like the triangle version, something like this. Something like that. Okay. Sometimes they have them with targets like this. There you go. So this is what I'm looking at as well. And then one more break. I can see that. I can see that.
That will put us close to Max Kaiser's prediction of 55 or 65, something like that.
No, that would put us, like around 47, 48.
Yeah. I believe that one.
Tone, you mentioned before, this is going into private assets, and I fully agree. Sitting here in Berlin, the property prices are going insane. Like, it's on a weekly basis where real estate agents are like, I can't believe every week. It's just, I'm astounded by what people are asking for property. Berlin was traditionally, this place is super cheap. In the middle of the city, you get some huge 120 square meter place for 500K. Now you're looking at 1.5 mil. And that's since the last sort of 8 years gone like that. So people are desperate, and Germans are very, very strong savers. They have a lot of cash sitting in the banks. But this sort of move into property is just one more signal towards moving into private property away from cash. When you have money in the bank, folks, and a lot of people don't know this, when you give money to a bank, it's not your money anymore. It's legally their property. Right. And so they just promise to give you it back when you ask for it, which usually works, but sometimes doesn't. Tone, you come, having that Russian background, Russia's been through three economic collapses in a pretty short time over the last few, 20 years or something. So we see, I don't know, more now. Geez, my age. But if you're a wealthy person, you don't want your cash sitting in the bank. The thing is that property can also be confiscated by the state. When something becomes totally crazy, when the economy collapses, usually the state steps in, or you start getting really angry citizens who are just pissed off because they haven't eaten for a while, saying, hey, look at this guy, this rich guy with his massive house, and they just come and ransack it. So that's why Bitcoin is so handy for the wealthy. Whatever that means to you. You know, you might be wealthy if you've got 50K in the bank, or 20K even, and you might be wealthy if you've got 200 mil sitting in the bank. It's all relative, but what it is safety of your savings, safety of your family's wealth, and that safety starts to look very, very scary when it's sitting in public assets or assets that can be seized.
Exactly. And the governments love to create class warfare. And we saw this, what happened in the US Jimmy will remember this. I don't know how much you paid attention, but there were memes all over the place where that lawyer and his wife, came out with their guns to defend their giant house, against people walking down. And the impression that a lot of people had is, well, why does he have such a big house? And yeah, that is absolutely true. The governments feed into this, by creating class warfare. This is the socialist elected leaders, and they will demonize the rich enough to the point to take away their property. But what is more difficult to do, especially in the West, is to nationalize a company like Apple, or to nationalize a company like Netflix or whatever, a chip manufacturer, whatever, any company, Tesla, to nationalize them. Like China, almost every company is half nationalized. So I believe that your money is actually safer in the stock market than in real estate, because not only can the government just take away your property, they can raise your taxes, they know you can't leave, and you're stuck there. So I do not see real estate as the ultimate safe haven. There's also another potential issue with real estate, is that there's plenty of real estate. The world is not running out of land. There is a lot of land. You have people like, the whole globalist agenda is to lower the human population by 50% to save the environment, which is insane. Why they're like, it's like this double speak. We're going to save everyone with a vaccine. The same people that want to lower population, which makes no sense at all. So having all this real estate with less people being born, and not because of some agenda to have less people, it's just that less people are being born. Modern societies, Jimmy is not a good example of this, but but people are having less kids as your society gets more and more advanced. So having a bunch of real estate in a world where population is on the verge of starting to decrease due to natural forces that doesn't make all that much sense to me for the next 100 years.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just a last-ditch effort right now. They're freaking out. They're seeing massive shutdowns, government overreach like crazy, shutting down all sorts of business. Now in Germany, you're not even allowed to use cloth masks. You have to use China-made crap masks full of chemicals, and so that even those businesses are out now. We're going to see people getting more and more scared of a major collapse. As businesses keep failing, and them not being able to pay back their loans. And so where do you put that?
But they won't care if they have Bitcoin. They're not going to care. We have Bitcoin. We can we'll borrow fiat against the Bitcoin.
Yeah,
I am exactly that example. I had a lot of real estate, and since beginning of last year, 2020. I started to sell all my real estate and buy Bitcoin. And I feel much safer now because no one can confiscate anything from me.
Yep. Hey, .unconfiscatable.com is gonna do real well over the next decade as people realize the ultimate #1 property of Bitcoin being unconfiscatability. It is absolutely huge. And I'm with you. I don't have much property. I am looking to sell. My only real property that's worth of value is my New York apartment. Other than that, you know, my cabin in Pennsylvania isn't worth that much, so there's no reason to sell that.
Let me just tell you about an example. So I had a few apartments and houses and stuff like that, and I used to rent an apartment. I'm just going to give you one example of how bad it is to keep your real estate. So I had one apartment in Lisbon. The market cost of that apartment right now is about 350,000 euros. And I used to rent it for 1,100 euros a month. So if you multiply that for 12, it's about 13,000 a year, right? So I had you know, credit on that apartment on my bank. And then I sold the apartment and I made more money in 2 months with the money from the apartment invested in Bitcoin than I would have renting that apartment for 5 years.
Yeah.
So it doesn't compensate at all to have real estate.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing. I mean, Bitcoin is going to ruin the real estate market. Like all the money that could be going into real estate right now, some of that money is going into Bitcoin. Murad used to talk about this very, very well. Basically, right now, Bitcoin has so many like tailwinds. Not only is a replacement for corporate cash as a better use of the funds than buying back your own stock, it also chips away at all the other collectible markets: art, wine, real estate, any other collectibles. Just Bitcoin is just easier to move, safer to store. It cuts into any collectible market to the point where people are gonna see the depreciation in art, see the depreciation of real estate, because there's enough people that think that Bitcoin is just a better investment.
Yeah, but you know,
and then I just forgot to mention one thing. When you rent an apartment, you have people inside it. So, so I had a big problem with that apartment I was talking about because of COVID restrictions. The government in Portugal just passed a law that people could hold the payments on the monthly payments for the rent,
right, and you can't get rid of them.
Yeah, and then the problem is they don't even pay it anymore. And
right.
Then if you want to go to court, it takes like 2-3 years to get your money back if you're lucky.
Right. No, this is a big problem, which is, again, Bitcoin is a huge mess. Somebody else was going to say something, Josh or Jimmy. One of you guys started to speak.
Yeah, I've forgotten.
All right. Well, this is still looking like a nice breakout. We're still dealing with this triangle, and I think it's looking very, very nice on a potential breakout. I still see 45K being broken in a very, very near future. I would like to stick around for that, but I do have to get going very soon. I got to jump on a call in a bit. Let me actually see if that call is going to happen.
The memes are brilliant.
Okay. Yeah, no, I got a call in less than an hour, and I do have to do some stuff for it. So we got about 10 to 15 more minutes. Right now we are sitting at just under 44,000. I would love to see a 10-minute close above whatever price this closed at. This closed at 43.9. So a close about 43.9 on this 10-minute candle would be awesome. Other than that, if the next candle starts trading above current candle, I think we are breaking out of this triangle in a perfect spot.
Man, I think this the Dogecoin pump, it's really dangerous. I think a lot of people are gonna, I mean, obviously a lot of people are gonna lose a lot of money. I don't think people understand the true nature of Doge. They think it's like the next thing because some billionaire's tweeting about it. But the fact of the matter is, it's just pump. It's just there's billions and billions and billions and billions of these things. They're not rare. They're not nothing, and they're just a fun thing. They're just a fun thing. And even the guy that made it, it was all about just a fun community. And it's just really unfortunate that I think a lot of noobs are going to really lose their head about this, and yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's going to be like GameStop. It's going to be the same thing. I warned people to stay out of this. People bought in at like 300 thinking they're going to get rich, and then they got wrecked. And this is going to be, Doge is going to be no different. I mean, GameStop is going back to 10, 15 bucks, wherever it was before the giant pump. And look, if you want to talk about GameStop and how it's, a movement by the people to destroy the corrupt institutions, that's fine. But you got to keep your friends away from buying into this nonsense when you know there is no reason for it to rise past a certain number. And that number for GameStop was probably about 20, 25 bucks.
Yeah.
Same thing for Doge. Like anything above a penny is probably a bubble.
Yeah. The thing is also that JPM can, or any of these massive, some of the big players, they can just keep printing naked shorts all the way up, and then win on the massive down. I also, Citadel was very long on the SLV. So I do feel that was a bit of a false flag to move people. We deal in precious metals, so we're keeping an eye on this stuff. And I did warn a lot of people, hey, stay away from the silver pump. Be careful. It looks like another scam from some of these hedge funds to drive direction somewhere else from this demonstration, because that's basically what GME was a demonstration. That's about it. So we're breaking out.
Well, you're in the gold space. You guys don't mess with silver, right? You only stick to gold.
No, we just implemented silver after 5 years of being online, and a lot of people bought in and bought stuff. But I mean, silver's still good for a long term. I think silver was good in the past. I'm not the biggest fan. People are like, they like it because it's industrial metal, but I'm a big fan of gold over the long terms because I just don't want to hold fiat, and I like to take profits sometimes in something that's fully insured and allocated rather than fiat in a bank. Like, what the fuck? I'm a big fan of drop fiat.
Hey, look, this is playing out absolutely perfectly, guys. Look at this.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, nice breakout.
Yeah, whether I drew it as an ascending triangle or whether I drew it as a symmetric triangle, so as an ascending triangle, it would look more like this. And it held absolutely perfectly.
Does it change the prediction of how far it's going to go up, whether it's ascending?
It does.
Equilateral?
The bullish flag pennant does have a higher target. But this is the most conservative look. Sometimes you always want to be the most conservative. This is the most conservative look, and this drops it by a few $1,000s. So now we have a $2,000 target. And now we're going down again. Spoke too soon. But yeah, welcome to trading. So far I remain bullish, and I think that I would love to stick around with you guys to watch 45,000 get broken. But I think I have to run in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing time to be alive. Amazing to see this. I mean, us, the guys that have been in this for a while have known that it's coming. I mean, there's only 21 million of these things. Probably a quarter of those have already just died and gone and not retrievable. So one thing I wonder is if someone will eventually tokenize the unretrievable, like if a massive bank loses their keys or something, whether they'll just, once the banks come in, whether they'll tokenize that. That's always an interesting thought as well for lost Bitcoin. But yeah, it's just stunning to see this 45. I thought it would take a couple of years longer than it has.
I think we're good on the charts. Josh, you want to plug your site since you're here?
Yeah, I mean, Voltoro.com, check it out. Been around since 2015. We let people trade Bitcoin and physical bullion allocated to your name as your property. And that's about it. Yeah.
All right, Hugo, you're just on Twitter, right? You don't really have I'm not even sure if you have like a Bitcoin company.
No.
All right.
It's not the time to have a company right now.
Yeah. And of course, Jimmy Song, sign us out.
Yeah, I mean, I've written a bunch of books. You can go look at them on Amazon. Jimmy Song is my Twitter handle, and I have that there too. But yeah, Fiat Delenda Est. This song is done.
All right, guys. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye-bye.
Thank you all so much for watching, and I will probably see you all tomorrow. And I'll have some news to announce later this week, guys. All right, bye.
See you later, guys. Ciao.
Bye.